Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bevins Bricks. Excuse me. I am thought I would been working on studio all day long, and with that being said, I thought, you know what, I was going to take a bit of a break, kind of come on and hang out with you guys and talk a little bit. I'm also trying to look at how to screen share. I know you can screen share with this thing, but I don't remember how. Give me a second. Because I know there's a way to do it, and it's just not working. Kyle Knapp, hello. Brick Sargent, Joshua Long Photography, James Jackson, Whiskey Shred, Dwarf Mike, hello, hello, and hello, guys. I know it's. I hope everybody can hear me. Still trying to use Restream. Still pretty happy with it so far, at least in my opinion. Oh, there we go. I figured it out. I think. No. Logic Casper. I was going to show you guys what I've been up to today, because I actually I haven't been out in my barn much, and I've been working on today because I came out to the barn. And hey, John Garrett, Lego fan 112, Brian Bott. I have been working on a bunch of stuff in studio, primarily my Avengers Tower. For those of you that are not aware, I know I had said it a long time ago, and there we go. Now I can show you guys. And this is what I did today. I came out in the barn because I got a bunch of stuff done in the yard. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking, Lego fan. And Brian Bott, and happy Saturday to you, my friend. And Brick Sargent, thank you so much. Brick Sargent just donated $3, and he says, "Peer character stretching his arm forward, raising his thumb up." And again, thank you so much for that awesome donation, Brick Sargent. I really appreciate that. Obviously, for whatever reason, it is weird how it shares stuff, and I kind of that's one thing I'm going to say right now for anybody that's looking at possibly using Restream. I'm using Restream right now, and one of the things that I will complain about it is I can't tell who my members are and who they aren't. Don't get me wrong, I know who my members are because they are here so often, kind of like Paul Bott, for example. Hey. But it also doesn't show the super chat. What I mean by the super chats is it's supposed to be a little smiley face with the guy with the thumbs up, is what Brick Sargent just did. Instead, it types it out, which I think is odd. But again, thank you so much for that awesome super chat, Brick Sargent. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys, this is how far I have gotten on making the instructions for, and hey, Blinky Bricks, for my Avengers Studio. Really happy with the progress I've made. And some of the things I can tell you that is really, because the first portion, this portion down here, was actually quite easy. It's once I've gotten up here now is where things have gotten a little bit complicated. And it's because, and I already have it all together or I'd show you, but it's because of the technique that I had to use for the inside of this, just to kind of show you. I'm going to lift the piece off. You can see there's a bunch of channels in here where there is different parts and such right up in here. And let me just set that to the side. But you can see that there's all this different stuff going on in there, and that's what gives the rigidity to my Avengers Tower landing platform. It's not the structure itself, it's just this platform here. It's actually a brick and 2 plates thick, but there's these channels that I have running through it using a variety of parts, plates, bricks, wedge plates, that create that structural rigidity and strength. And that is how I was able to make it to where I can put the Avenger jet on that landing platform. Now I'm trying to get that back over there. There we go. But this little dude here, and then trying to get the detail on the underneath, I'm going to have to tell you right now, even though I'm still making instructions for it, it's probably going to take longer than I thought, though, because a lot of the techniques that are going into this, and I haven't even got to the other more technical portions of this build yet, but some of the techniques that are going into this are putting this together in studio kind of a pain in the butt. but I'm still really excited and really happy with the progress that I have received and done so far. Anyway, though, let's go back to the stream. Paul Bot says, I still need to learn how to do instructions in Studio. Studio instructions, you know what? Let me do a quick save. And Hart McHard's Wirt D. Burton, and I know I just butchered that, and I'm so sorry. He says, nice theme, I'm from Germany, and like this content instantly, and thank you so much. And Blinky Bricks goes on to say, what's your estimate on the Avengers Tower's cost? And you know what? Let me go right back to that right now. Currently, I just did one, and we'll do it again right now, just for anybody that's never seen any of this or is not sure how to use Studio. And being that Paul Bot was saying he needs to learn how to do instructions, I'm not to that point yet, but I will give you a tip if you ever go to do instructions. I'm going to show you something. When you look at the building, Paul, or anybody, you'll notice that there's cubes. And the reason that there's cubes is because each one of those cubes is kind of a step. And what I do is, as I build up, I will select a bunch of parts, like I haven't done it up here yet, but I will, just for example, we'll say do this, and then I'll create a submodel of that particular section. So each section as I'm going, I can create instructions for that section because it helps it to break it down a lot better and a lot easier. I will try and build something in Studio at some point in the future on a live stream and show you guys how to do instructions, or if that's something you guys really want to see, I can try and do it now, but I would do something other than this because this is one of those things that is just a complete nightmare. But let me save this really quickly. And I always, just to tell you guys, and it's because I've been burned in the past, I always save my files twice. And I do that because I have had instances where I went to save or saved something and it didn't give me my information. But Blinky Bricks was asking what the cost is so far, and so far, according, now keep in mind, the cost that they give you is the BrickLink parts costs. It's probably going to be a little cheaper, as with all my builds. But as of how far it's built right now, I'm at $740.49, and that's with a total of 134 different lots, and that's 3,541 pieces is where I'm at right now. So there's still a lot more to go because, as you guys can see, I am just working on this platform right here, and I still have all this to do. And up here is where I start getting a little crazy with some of the techniques and stuff I use. So it is going to get more interesting, and I expect, and thank you so much, Art Claxton. Thank you so much. Art Claxton just donated $2, and he says, Daryl, do you know it's not hump day? And I changed that. Does it still say that as the title? It sure does, doesn't it? Hold on. I put live work live. Thank you for pointing that out, though, Art Claxton. And thank you so much for that super chat. Live. Hold on, it should be updating now. There, it should be updated now. I don't know why. I did change that before I went live. Apparently, I forgot to hit save. But again, thank you so much for pointing that out, Art Claxton. I really appreciate that, buddy. Trying to come back to some of the other comments, though. Hello, Lego fan. And let's see. Ooh, I missed a bunch. Someone was telling me I should use speak your name at something. And Hardy was saying he loves all this stuff because of all the simple details. Paul Bot was saying, I'm thinking about going back and making my Avengers Tower modular in Studio. That would be cool. Rickman, hey, how you doing? One thing I will say, like with mine, I'm going to tell you right now, the reason, because I was going to make mine modular as I was rebuilding it. And take care, Lego fan, and good night to you, my friend. I was going to make mine modular in Studio, but the thing was, after I started looking at it, the biggest problem that I have is because of the landing platform and everything, my particular Avengers Tower is kind of top-heavy. So if I was to make it modular, and there are ways you can do it. You can use some Technic bricks to actually do the connections on the inside of it and some other things, but I didn't want to do a bunch of alterations to my particular Avengers Tower. So I thought I'm just going to run with what I have and build it and sell the instructions the way that I already have it intended. But I am with you, Paul. It would probably work better if it was modular, especially if it was something that you wanted to take and I gotta go this way. Take and to take it to shows and put it on display and things like that. Anyway, what I was wanting to work on today, because I finally got all my Lego part orders, is I was going to start working on some of this Carvana mock that I have. And with that being said, I'm going to get some stuff out because I want to get a floor or two made. So when I go back to start working on the base of it, I have a good structure that I'm already happy with, that I know is going to work and all that good stuff. And then it's better for me for sizing and whatnot. All that's going to assimilate our Claxton. And I am trying to get, let's see, I actually want this on the outside, if I'm not mistaken, like so. And after I get this, I'm going to go grab a few more parts, and I do have my wireless mic on. I hope everybody's been having a great weekend. We've been having some amazing weather here where I live, and wow is all I can say. It's just been absolutely amazing, to say the least. The weather that we have been experiencing, because here for Michigan, it's you rarely get good weather, and it's been wonderful. I've been out and enjoying my Bronco, hanging out with my kids, and it's just really, really, really enjoyable. I cannot say it enough how awesome it has been. And, or do I want that on the inside? Give me 1 second while I'm looking at a few things. I also need, I think I want that on the, now that I'm looking, I think I want that on the inside. And I'm glad you just asked that, Art Claxton. It shows my batteries are at 50% capacity, so I would say that should be good. Oh, I'm not worried about the mechanisms and all that. I don't want to spend a month or 6 months trying to design something. Leave that for other people. And I've already got my basic design anyway. So I'm not going to try and re-alter it. It would be cool, don't get me wrong, to see a Carvana with a working elevator and all that. Like I said, it's not something I'm doing. It's just like my Avengers Tower, because we had a lot of people tell me, well, why don't you make the elevator working and whatnot? And it's like, you know what? Like in that building, and it's probably going to be the same with this building, it's one of those situations where, quite simply, it's just not worth my time. And the fact that all my wiring, that's something a lot of people, I think, don't really take into consideration, because most don't do what I do with the wiring and the lighting and all that, is once I start making things working, it's taking away from me being able to make things illuminated. Like my Avengers Tower, my elevator shaft is where I hide all my wire, and there is a ton of wire in that elevator shaft to be able to plug in all the different lighting systems and stuff that I have going on in that. So I would have to build a whole different dummy shaft, so to speak, if I wanted to illuminate that, and that would just, in my opinion, it's not worth the headache. Quite simply. It would be cool though. If I wasn't going to light it up and all that good stuff, I think that would be a lot of fun to do, but not worrying about it at this time. Paul Bott says they are at 85 where he is at, and that's freaking awesome. We were at 85 today, and then the weather, I got a little bit, I finally got all my grass cut. I still have a ton of stuff I'm trying to trim down, trees I'm trying to trim down and all that. But I finally got all my grass cut today. I got some of my landscaping all cleaned up. I finally feel like I have my pond kind of getting back into shape. That was something else I was trying to do, is my pond was just full of sludge from the winter. And I had to get that all cleaned out, and I got a lot of that done today. And then I noticed the weather started to get crappy, so I packed everything up and got everything back into the barn, my other barn, and decided I was going to come down here for the rest of the day and play around a bit. Those are both there, and I need a few more window frames. And now 94, holy crap. That's hot. And Art Claxton's poking fun at Paul Bot. Art Claxton says it's 72 degrees right now. And Richard Cranium, hey, how you doing? He says, good evening, man. What are you working on tonight, Carvana? I'm sure you already said it, but I am a little late. Oh, you're fine. Nobody's ever late. It's like I always tell everybody, they arrive precisely when they want to. Nobody's ever late on my streams. And then Jimmy Neutron says the blue Lego sports car from last year is already discontinued and the price has skyrocketed. Does anyone know why? As far as it being discontinued, a lot of those little sets like that, it's basically whenever they sell out of them is when they get discontinued. So obviously that was a good selling set. Would be my interpretation of that. But why the price would have skyrocketed already, I don't know, because to me, I don't remember, because I have it over on my wall if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember there being a lot of unique parts in that particular set that would cause it to skyrocket already. So that's kind of odd to me, but I mean, everything's skyrocketing in the world today, so maybe it's just GP, general purposes. And oops, that has a tile. Oops. Hold on 1 second. It is the boss. Give me 1 second. So she don't think I'm ignoring her. Jimmy Neutron says is telling me that I have the best Lego city on YouTube, and thank you so much. And man, that piece is dirty. I really appreciate that. I really strive to try and build a lot of crazy things. And don't get me wrong with what I'm about to say. One of my pet peeves has always been, though, that there's so many channels, and it's like every day somebody new is trying to make a channel where it's nothing but Lego set building. And to me, that has always irritated me. I'm trying to, you know what, let me get this down a little closer. It's always irritated me because it's like, you know, anybody can build a Lego set. Why is there so many people doing it other than the fact that that's really all they can do? And I get that, because doing mock building, I'll tell you right now, is extremely outrageously expensive. But in my opinion, and Brick Sargent was saying he hit 84 today in Tennessee. What I was going to say, though, is to me, this is more interesting, but nobody really focuses on it. And that was part of the reason as to why I got involved, wanted to do it, a YouTube channel where it's basically nothing but mock building. I still do sets too, don't get me wrong, because I am a Lego fan and I still love sets also, but to me, interesting channels to watch anyway are those that build unique creations. And I rarely see any of that on YouTube. And it always amazed me how little of custom stuff that you see. The big person that used to do it, that I was always amazed by back in the day, and he doesn't do a lot of it anymore. He is starting to do it again, though. Was always Jang. Jang always did some really cool stuff. And he is starting to get back into that, so that's really nice to see. But like I said, most people, they don't. It's just set building. So that is part of the reason why I do what I do. It's because I wanted to be original, wanted to be different, wanted to give people something that they don't normally get to see, which is mock building. And Richard Cranium was saying, actually, so I don't have to read it, I'm just going to post that comment right there. Target, I'm going to tell you right now, as far as sales go, Target is one of your best places. After Target, I shouldn't say after Target. The top 3 places that I find bargains for Lego is Target, Walmart, and then I find a lot of awesome deals on Amazon too. And it's funny because they all try to keep in competition with each other. It's like they'll try and beat each other out just by as little as like 2 cents or something. And I always laugh when I see that. Because it's like, I don't think 2 cents is going to make or break the bank to where I'm going to have to buy it from you over the other person. Take care, Jimmy Neutron, and have a good night, my friend. This is going to allow me now, and I'm going to put another floor or 2 together. And I'm going to need to strengthen the center with some other plates, but for right now, I'm just trying to get a general. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm trying to not make too big of a mess because I have so many different things going on. But this was something I already started, and that's why I wanted to come back and start doing it again. That guy. This is honestly a rather simple build. Just using a ton of the same parts over and over and over again. Like a lot of the things I do, though, when you go with a big building, it's usually very repetitive. I don't remember if I ordered. This is all my goodies I got. This is Carvana parts. Oh, I did order them. They're right in that bag. Perfect. Oh, now that is so cool. Lego has never done this in the past for me. They actually shipped each individual door in a plastic bag so it doesn't get scratched up. How cool is that? And it cracks me up because they're just like regular Ziploc bags. They don't even say Lego on them. They just say Grippies. Not everything, though, because there's some clear doors in there they didn't package. I'm so glad I ordered that. There we go. I guess I should have ordered more. They would have divided them better. Yeah, okay. Says he's building a custom black pearl. That would be a fun build. It would be a very fun build, because who doesn't like Pirates of the Caribbean? I have to say I loved that show. I like Johnny Depp as an actor, though. I think he is absolutely hilarious. He has a lot of character. I've never really seen a movie, and I know it was a flop. Some people would disagree with me, but I've never really seen a movie that I didn't like of his, including The Lone Ranger. And like I said, I know a lot of people would probably argue that that movie was a bit of a flop, but I still enjoyed it myself anyway. I need more doors. Oh, God. Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Richard Cranium. I have, and I regret, because I had... Oh, what was it? I have the Black Pearl, and then I also have the other set, the one that comes up from under the water. I think which set was it? Was it Queen Mary? One of the sets I sold and I regretted it. And now it's like, holy crap, because what I originally paid for it, and what you have to pay for it now, it's like, well, I guess I'll never own that set again. But I feel like with the way that I'm seeing Lego doing a lot of things nowadays, I think you might end up seeing that set again, but it'll be modernized, kind of like what they do with all the Star Wars stuff. Because every year, Star Wars, they bring out a new X-wing and a new Y-wing, and so on and so forth. But they always have improvements. So I really look forward to them at some point in the future coming out with some more of the Pirates of the Caribbean ships and whatnot, if they ever do. If they come out with a new movie, you can guarantee they'll come out with some of those. But only time will tell, because we all know that Johnny Depp said he's never going back again. Silent Mary, though, is the ship that I was talking about, yes. And that's crazy. $2,200 for the Black Pearl unopened. Wow. Mine are opened. Oh, God, Paul Bott. Yes, I remember that as well, when Johnny Depp was on 21 Jump Street. That was, well, it's like, I don't know how many people remember this, but Johnny Depp was also in it's a very old show. And Leonardo DiCaprio was in this show as well, and he played his little brother. He played his little brother had mental problems, mentally disabled. But it was What's Eating Gilbert Grape was another movie that he did. And I absolutely loved that movie. But yes, 21 Jump Street is where Johnny Depp got his start. Any thoughts on the Transformers? My guess would be a Soundwave or a Bumblebee. I definitely can see Lego coming out with a Bumblebee. And as far as Soundwave, I think because they did Optimus Prime, if they're coming out with any more of the Transformer sets, Whiskey Shred, I personally think what you can expect to see would be Megatron. And I say that because when you come out with a good guy, you got to have a villain. And to me, Megatron would be the villain to come out with. So if they do any other Transformer sets, I personally feel it will definitely be Megatron. And I have to say, I personally am impressed with the Optimus Prime set that they came out with, or that they're coming out with. It looks like an amazing looking set. I was a big Star Wars. I was a big Transformers nut when I was a kid. I had a ton of different Transformers. And that will most likely be a set that I will definitely add to my collection. One of the things that I thought was extremely cool about that was just quite simply the fact that it really transforms. And I mean, it looks like it's right out of the old 80s cartoons that I used to watch as far as the set itself. So I personally am beyond impressed with that set. Do I remember Johnny from Nightmare on Elm Street? That was I do remember Nightmare on Elm Street. And I don't remember all the character names, but Johnny Depp was in that? I don't remember Johnny Depp on Nightmare on Elm Street. I will have to look and watch that movie again now, if that's the case, because I do not remember Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street. But I absolutely loved Nightmare on Elm Street. And hey, MDO, how you doing? Oops, I was trying to... There it goes. I was going to say, why did it hide you? How you doing? And welcome to the stream, my friend. And anyway, thanking... Oh, I forgot to put the posts in. Let me grab the support posts. 1, 2... It's like I still remember the nursery rhyme from Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's see if I can get it right. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, get a crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. And I totally just choked on this, guys. I am looking at this, and yep, I have to pull this back apart because I didn't put in the 2x8s. He was the one that got pulled out of the bed. Okay, I remember exactly what you're talking about. I remember the bed scene. I don't know why I did not ever realize that was Johnny Depp. And like I said, I'm going to have to specifically go back and watch that now, just because I never realized that was Johnny Depp. But that's freaking awesome. Learn something new every day, my friends. And that is always a good thing. Keeps the mind active, keeps it flowing. You know what's funny? I've been posting videos, just little clips of stuff that I already have built onto TikTok lately. And I find it hilarious how many people, because I don't really show my face on TikTok. I'm just, like I said, I'm just showing a build, do a real quick whatever dialogue explaining what the heck it is that I'm showing. And I get a lot of people saying I sound like Jeff Goldblum. And it actually makes me laugh. But it's like I always tell everybody, I've never been told that until I started posting things on TikTok, but I'm very flattered because I always like Jeff Goldblum. Well, they pulled Johnny Depp from the Harry Potter stuff, the Crimes of whatever that movie was, Grimlock or whatever. I forgot the name of those now, but so yeah, they won't do him in those because he was pulled from those, is what my understanding was. And good day, Aussie Adams and Macro Bricks. Macro says, I love the shape of this building. This is, I don't know if you read, I don't know if the title of my stream anyway changed, but this is our Carvana. And the Carvana by me, which I showed in another live stream. I don't have the picture on my computer, or I would queue it up. But that is what the shape of this building is just quite simply, it's a basic Carvana building that is located in Novi here in Michigan. And a Carvana, if you don't know what Carvana is, it's the car vending machine people. And that's all I'm trying to do is basically mimic that, and then I'm going to have to build a whole bunch of cars to go into each floor. But I'm just worried about trying to get the basic structure going first, so that way I can go back to working on the base of this. But it is a very simple build, but it's a nice, clean, interesting build. You know what I mean? And Macro, thank you so much, buddy. Macro Bricks just donated $5, and he says, I don't know what Carvana is, but man, it looks good. You know what? Here, I think I can show you. I do believe. Give me 1 second. I don't have the actual pictures that are on my phone, but see if we can do a search. Should be able to. Oh, look at that. Bada boom, bada bing. So I can do a screen share real quick, and I will show you exactly what it is. So this is what I'm working on. This is a Carvana building. I can't spin it around or anything, but you can see that shape. That is the shape that I'm after, because I'm trying to mimic that building. And then when you get to the top, you have those little round discs that they have their little logo on. And that's exactly what I'm after. I'm trying to make this exact building. Now, there's a bunch of different Carvanas. This is the one that's in Michigan, but as you can see, each one of them, depending on where they're located, some of them have different shapes. Like that one has a different shape, but I'm going after the one that I originally showed you, and now I'm losing everything because I went too far. This is the one that's by me, and that's why I'm sticking with that particular shape, because I thought it was a really interesting shape, and I thought it was a really cool looking build. Yes, they sell cars, and what it is, let's see, do they have, they must not have them in your country. I thought they had them everywhere. What is it, Carvana, what do they call those? Vending machine. I was trying to see, because what you can do, I wanted to show you. something very popular here in the States now anyway. I'm not seeing, but what it is you can say what car you want, they'll deliver it to these towers, and then they give you, it's like a gold coin. There it is. You get that little coin there, and what you do is you take it to that Carvana building, you put your coin in that little slot, and then it vends you your car. But it's basically like what Aussie Adams was saying. It's more or less just it's like a warehouse for cars, but the cars are for sale. And like I said, you can buy them, and then you can take them, and then you go there, and then just they drop it down, and out it comes. But I thought, because of how popular that's becoming, I thought, why not build one? Because I know a lot of people here in Michigan anyway, or in the United States, would immediately recognize a building like this. I'm only going to go 8 floors with this, and I'm going to have another floor for the base. Just to show you really quickly, because now that I'm getting a good shape here, I can play with my base and see if that's going to work the way I wanted it to. Here was the base that I started on the other day for it. And quite simply, I was going to have it to where the cars would come out here. But this is going to let me know if the size of the building is going to work for what I was wanting it to do. And I'm already seeing where I might have to change a few things. I think I am going to change a few things, but that's what I got going on. This is supposed to be like the showroom area, and this is going to be where it's coming out. I think I want this to go back, though. I think I want this wall to come over and follow this front wall. So, and thank you, MD. He says only 8 floors. He says my sets are always epic, and thank you, MD. I appreciate that. But like I said, I'm going to have to redo the base now that I've done this. But that's why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to see and get a better idea if my idea for the first floor was working, and I don't like how it's working now that I've got this. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish putting this together, and then I'll come back to the first floor. I do that with a lot of buildings, believe it or not. And by the way, thank you so much, Art Claxton. Art Claxton just donated $5 and says, Daryl, have you ever considered having Paul Poppy made to clean your barn? I've told him once in the past that I was going to dress him up like a Molly maid and have him come over and do it, because he always complains. But no. I think if I ever did that, and again, thank you so much for your donation, Art Claxton. I think if I ever did that, Paul would never leave, and my wife would not be happy, because the wife doesn't want people here. So that's the only reason I would never do that. But I think it would be funny either way. Have I ever submitted anything to Lego Ideas? I did years ago, and none of it ever took off. As a matter of fact, I can tell you, the McDonald's that I built, that was an idea that I built specifically for Lego Ideas. And like I said, it didn't take off. I never got any traction on it. It never got approved. Over the years, though, I had learned, and this is why I don't actually support or do that anymore. Over the years, I had learned that I need some 1x3s. That anytime you submit something to Lego Ideas, and this is why I don't support it myself anymore, because anytime you support an idea to Lego Ideas, Lego immediately owns the rights to it. And to me, that's wrong. And once they own the rights to it, you cannot do anything with it. So if I design instructions or something to sell, and if I've submitted that to Lego Ideas, I have to wait a minimum of 2 years before I have the right to do anything at all with those ideas. And that's why I do not use Lego Ideas. I think that's wrong. I think they should only have the right to use it, and should only own the rights to using it if they accept your idea and they're going to sell it. I don't think they should keep designers and people that go through the hassle of building stuff from being able to do whatever they want to do with their own mocks just because they submitted it to them. And that is why I personally do not use Lego Ideas. And that is messed up. Like I said, I do not like it. Brick Sargent, he said he bought a car from Carvana last year to replace the one that his daughter totaled. Oh, you did not tell me you got that off of Carvana. I do remember your daughter having an accident and totaling the car. My question is, did you have to go to one of those, or did they bring the car and deliver it to you, Brick Sargent? And Steve Weiser, hey, how you doing, my friend? And I totally agree with you, Richard Cranium. That's messed up. And Brick Biter says the same thing. But like, and you're right. It should only be if you win and they pick it. Should be the only way that they should penalize you. And like I said, because that isn't what they do. I personally I won't use them. I don't like them, and I think that's my opinion. I think that's wrong. But they are the company trying to do that. So, I mean, it's their corporation, their rights, their ability to do it. So, I mean, they can do whatever they want, but it prevents people like me from purchasing or working with them because I like I said, I feel it's wrong. And Brick Sargent said they delivered his car to them. I still think that's cool that they do that. I always laugh because I see on the road all the time the Carvana trucks. Did I put that one in backwards? Nope, it's in the right way. I see them on the road all the time driving down the highway, and I always thought that is so cool. And if you've never heard of Carvana, I really highly recommend checking them out. And here's why I say that. Even though I've not bought any cars from them, I always buy my cars new. Carvana only sells used cars. But if you go on there, I have never in my life seen a place that really, really takes the time to make sure you know every little blemish on that car before you purchase it. Because when you go on there, they'll highlight the areas with like a little red dot, and then you can click it to zoom in, and they will show you exactly if there's a scratch on the front quarter, if there's a dent on the rear end, if whatever it is. They really go through a lot to do it. So I have to say that I give kudos to them. It's a pretty interesting company. And if I wanted to buy a used car and not have to deal with going to the used car lots, I would definitely do that. And you are absolutely right. Right now, cars are pretty much impossible to buy. But I think that is kind of, which I was going to say, it was kind of helping Carvana, but at the same time, I think it's hurting them right now because they can't get any cars in their inventory. Because when they first started out, man, they were doing freaking fantastic. And now because there's such a huge shortage on cars, even Carvana can't get them anymore. I mean, car dealerships can't get them. And it's hurting their bottom line considerably. Because the last thing that I had heard is that Carvana was having a bit of trouble due to the fact that they can't get any inventory, and they're suffering. They're struggling, I guess, right now. At least the most recent quarter, they were struggling. So even though it's a fantastic idea, and I think they really do some good things, I think it's going to start hurting them because of what's going on right now with the economy. And I know everybody's felt the economy. It's really quite horrible because it's pinching everybody. To me, and Lauren McDonald, hey, how you doing? What is my favorite Lego? I'm assuming you're saying my favorite Lego set. I always say my favorite Lego set is the Cafe Corner, and I say that because that is the set that got me away from just strictly Star Wars Lego and got me into wanting to do city builds. So that is always, even though, and a lot of people are not aware of this, that building doesn't have an interior or anything, but that's still one of my all-time favorite sets. Because again, that is what got me, and I just knocked the part off, that is what got me wanting to do city builds. And that is kind of like bully tactics. I agree with you, Richard Cranium. And what piece did I just knock down? There it is. I see why that knocked off. I don't have nothing supporting that. And I knew I was going to do at least one rung. That bottom door is inside out. So we got to pull this back off. I had it in the wrong way. Now we can put it back together. There we go. Happy little accidents. One of my favorites from when I was growing up was Bruce Ross. Or am I think I'm saying his name wrong, but either way, Ross, the artist Ross. I always loved watching him on Saturdays. Or was it Sundays? Was he on? God, it's been so long I don't remember anymore. Bob Ross. There we go. Everything was just happy little accidents. But I loved watching him paint. It was very interesting in how he would explain it and what brushes to use and why he was doing what he was doing. And even if he made a big mistake, it was a happy little mistake because now all of a sudden we got birds or we got a tree or we had some water or whatever you could think of. There we go. Once I get all these windows on, I'll start putting the glass in as I'm going so I don't have to do it the way I'm doing it right now. It just makes it kind of a pain. But as you can tell, this is a very simplistic build. It's nothing complicated at all, but it gives you a quick idea, gives you an gist of what they actually look like. Macro says that's what his parents say all the time too, is happy little accidents. I always thought he was like multinational popularity. Happy little trees. Yes, that was another phrase. Happy little trees. Make some happy little trees. But Bob Ross, I think, was single-handedly got the world to try and get into art and want to paint. Because growing up, I remember a couple of my friends' moms. That's every time that he was on, they had it on and they were trying to paint right with him. Well, I wouldn't say multinational, multilingual, international. No, I actually, Richard Cranium was saying do 4-wide cars. I mean, I could, don't get me wrong, but I do have enough space in here that I could squeeze. I could probably squeeze the 8-wide. I don't know about the length, but I think well, right here's one. Don't have the wheels on it. So yeah, the length would be wrong for that. So what I will probably do is like a 6-wide with the cars. A 4-wide, I do see why you're saying that, because with the 4-wide cars, let me grab some more windows. With the 4-wide cars, it doesn't really matter because obviously you can't tell how deep they are because it's a building. So that would be a great way to save on parts. So I definitely get your point in saying that. You know, some people were saying do the 8-wide, and it's like, I'm not doing an 8-wide. I was thinking 6-wide, but we'll see how the car sits in there when I start building some of them, because I'm leaving this entire center just an open cavity. Because like everything that I do, I will end up putting lights in this, so that way it's nice and loud and bright in the city. I want it to stand out. And I'll probably put some bright blues and white lights to make it interesting. Just like I will end up producing it, although I think most people can figure out what I'm doing here. I will make instructions for this at some point in the future as well. This would be one of those buildings that'll be fairly simple though. It's a very redundant building. But we were talking earlier, people wanting to know how to make instructions and stuff. And this would be one of those buildings that, even though it's a large building, it's really easy to do because all your floors on the top are the same. So what you would do is you'd make one floor, you'd clone it, and then what you do is you just clone it as many times as you need for how many stories you want it to be. And then when you do the instructions, so say if this is 8 floors, you would do the instructions for 1 floor, but you'd put times 8 on the instructions, and it makes the instructions so much easier and quicker to do. I said, I'm going to try a few different cars. Because I'm definitely not doing the 8 wide. I don't think the 8 wide is necessary at all, in my personal opinion. That's that. Michael, how are you? I am working on my Carvana mock. What are you doing, my friend? And it's exactly it. Rinse, lather, repeat. Rinse, lather, repeat. Rinse, lather, repeat. Like I said, though, when you're doing stuff like this, it really makes making instructions for it, like, wow, easy. Like the old Staples button, the easy button. Hit the easy button. Brian M., hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Macro is talking to Bricklock. Boy, I tell you what, Macro, India and China pretty much owns everybody, including the United States. I don't know any country that is free of India, or China, I'm sorry. Where did I just put that box? Oh, there that is. I was gonna say, where did I put my box of parts? But it's kind of under the table a little bit. I don't want to forget this time. I'm going to put these on right away. Barbecue pork chops. Oh, that sounds good, man. That sounds really good. I have not had barbecue pork chops in a long time. 'Tis the time of year, though, for barbecue. I need to get some, what it is, I need to get some propane for my grill so I can do a little grilling myself. There is nothing better than throwing, and I'm one of those people, some people don't like this, but I'm one of those people, I like the barbecue, and I want there to be, in my opinion, it's not barbecued if you don't have a little bit of that blackening on it, a little burning, if you will, on your meat. And I'm going to have to get, let's see, let's go ahead and put those there. To me, it's not barbecue if you don't burn it a little bit. I like, to me, it's more tasty when you get a little of that the charred flesh, the charred meat. Makes it taste better. Good. You got to have good barbecue sauce. We've made some of our own. I like Open Pit, but something else that's really good is Baby Ray's. They make some excellent barbecue sauces. Sweet Baby Ray's. Michael was saying India has almost more population than China, and it does not surprise me, my man. That's why all the help desks and anytime you call for help or anything, you always get put to India. That's where all the help desks are at, are in India. Hello, how is it you are being doing? How can I help you? A pellet smoker? I've always wondered about those. Pork chops and applesauce. That reminds me, I guess I'm just showing my age some more. If everybody remembers Brady Bunch, that was one of the episodes. If I remember correctly, it was Cindy had the speech problem. So they had, or no, it wasn't Cindy. She did have the speech problem, but that's not what I was thinking of. What I was thinking of, though, I think it was Peter walked around and kept saying, because Alice told him what they were having for dinner, and it was pork chops and applesauce. Brian Bott says Montgomery and barbecue sauce from Cincinnati, Ohio is amazing. I will have to check that out. I've never heard of them, and I'm not that far from Ohio. I'm actually only about 13 miles from the Ohio border. Michael says that the pellet smoker is a game changer. Oh, I can only imagine, buddy. Everybody that I know that has one loves them. Although I will say this, I don't like to grill all the time. To me, it's just a big pain in the butt. I know that sounds horrible, and it's not because of the. I am one of those. I want to hurry up and stuff it in my gullet and move along. You know what I mean? And then grilling, even though I do enjoy it when I do it, it seems like it's just for me to do it and do it right. It takes a lot of time. Trying to keep that in focus. That's why I don't grill a lot. And hey, Dusty Bricks, how you doing, buddy? Let's get here. Over here. There we go with that. Now I need to get more of my support pieces. So let me grab a few more of those. There we go. So we can throw some of these together. Dusty's saying hi to Marcy. That guy there, and put this dude here. Over here, I am shocked at how well it seems the streams have been going lately using this new software. Even though there's things that I'm not super happy with it, I'm pretty happy all in all because I don't have all the issues with the stream, it seems. Oh, that sucks, Rob. I'm sorry to hear that. Says he hasn't been able to eat any good food for a while due to dentist issues or dental issues. That's never a good thing, my friend. I really don't have time to watch other YouTubers, to be perfectly honest. There are a few people I like, but like I said, I really just, I'm too busy with my own life and then trying to do my own channel when I have spare time. And most of the time, honestly, I don't remember the channel's names. There are some good channels out there, though. And then there's a lot of channels that, these are what I don't watch. I cannot stand all the, to me, it seems like we were talking about this earlier in the stream. To me, it just seems like there's more set builders out there than there are anything. And I can give a crap less watch people build sets, because if I want a set, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to build it. I'm not going to go sit and watch somebody else do it. There's not a lot of mock builders, though. As far as, actually one just popped in my head. I do like Macro. I go to watch Macro's channel every now and then. He's here in the chat. Somebody that I don't think gets really any recognition at all, but Woodles, someone that just popped in my head that I like a lot. He does some amazing builds, but he really doesn't get, it's like nobody watches his channel, and I don't understand it, because the guy builds some amazing stuff. AFOL TV does, I really don't watch him. What I honestly do is, as far as him, I follow him on Instagram, because he does do some pretty cool builds. He's got a really nice city. He is a graphic artist. I think I'm saying that right, but because of that, he really does some really cool stuff. And most of his buildings, though, I can tell you this, they're very cool, don't get me wrong, but most of them you can reverse engineer within about 30 minutes because they're very basic buildings. But they look great the way that he sets them up and displays them. So. Richard says he'll go check out Macro right now. There's some other channels that I would honestly recommend too, but I like I said, and it's not because I don't want to talk about it, I physically, most of the time, I have to go through my subscription list to tell you who they are. A lot of them, I don't watch a lot, and it's not because it's not that they're not good. I just don't have the time. Shane Hart says, "Howdy, Daryl. Working on another building?" Yes. This is something I'm just kind of slapping together because I finally got my parts. It's nothing too fancy. It's just I'm trying to make a quick Carvana mock. So it's just a really, really, really basic building with a kind of interesting shape. Why does that feel like it's not there? And we're halfway through it. I might even shorten it up a little bit. I don't know. So I don't want it to be taller than my skyscrapers. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll just do 6 floors. Plus the ground floor, so that would be 8. You are more than welcome, Macro. Because you do make some really cool builds as well, buddy. You deserve it. Oops. About to dump my parts everywhere. Get on there. There we go. I like it. Assembly Square is, oh, I don't want to use that glass. Assembly Square is a great set. It's a rather fun build, too. There's a lot of interesting techniques in that particular set. I took the Assembly Square and then as everybody likes to say, I Bevinized it. I made it much larger, but I split it all up. So my Assembly Square is actually divided into 3 individual buildings. The flower shop, which is the center section, is in my little main part of town, the center part of my table. I haven't put the bakery back in my city somewhere. I need to figure out where I'm going to put it, but the blue part, I can't remember what the heck it was. It's where it had the coffee shop and then the ballerina place and stuff upstairs. I have that next to my train station. I need more of these support pieces. Let me put this together and I will go grab some more right now. It's getting bigger. One thing nice about building a lot of these different buildings that I'm kind of like quickly flying through to get together is it's draining my drawers. So I can, because I was starting to run out of space on a lot of things, and it's like, man, I really need to start getting some stuff built so I can get some space to store stuff again. Because I have received a bunch of orders here, like all at once, even though they had been ordered over the last 2 months. And now I don't have a place to put everything, so I'm trying to, when I can, come out here and build as much as I can just to use up some of these pieces to make space for other ideas that I'm wanting to do. Nope, no interior. Well, this is a Carvana building, so the only thing that will be on the interior will be the cars. So it'll have an interior technically, but not a real interior per se. And I did it again. Dang it, I forgot to put the other pieces on. We'll start with that one, and I still got to go get my 2x4 bricks or plates. I will do that after. Let's see. There we go. So nothing fancy on the interior on this one, just a bunch of cars. Drain in your drawers. Yeah, I guess you could take it that way. I guess it would give you a whole new bunch of words to make meanings for. But yeah, I didn't really think about that. You are right in saying that, though, my friend. That does kind of sound gross. Gotta go drain my drawers. More. I don't know, what do you guys think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more floors. Thinking 2 more floors and I might stop. It needs some more black frames. That is blue. I do not want blue. Trees would die if I did that to the drawers. Hold on 1 second. Got the boss again. And hello, Kenneth Swan, and thank you so much. He says, looking great. You know, I am not my talkative self, so I apologize, guys. It's been one of those days. But I have to say the weather has been beautiful. I am very thankful for that. Once I get to the next floor, I need to figure out how I'm going to... I bought these for the Carvana sign pieces. I got to figure out how I'm going to attach those. Shane was saying I found some LED light battery pack to power them. They are fun little lights on a wire strip that can bend like a thin wire. Can put between bricks. I'm going to give it a try to light up a few sets. That sounds awesome. Where did you get the lights from, Shane Hart? I make a lot of my own custom lighting, but I also use Blinky Bricks and Brick Loot. And for anybody that is wanting some really good quality products, I always recommend those two places. If you're not going to make them yourself, they both have really good quality pieces. This building is just flying right up, guys. Need a few more base plates. I'm going to need some more of these. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And thank you, Michael. He says, well, at least I'm in a build mode. That's all that matters. Richard Cranium was asking, he said, speaking of lighting sets, have I ever seen any UV builds? When you say UV builds, are you referring to are you meaning like the glow-in-the-dark Lego? I'm having a hard time spitting it out. Like the glow-in-the-dark Lego parts, is that what you're referring to? And I'm trying to think. Let me try something here real quick, guys. Before I go ahead with anything else, I want to try. Where did that piece go? Oh, lordy. Here, I'm looking for a one. There they are. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I have a slight idea. I'm wondering who did that. I think that'll work. Because then that'll get plated out. So yeah, I think that'll work for holding it up. I don't want to do that just yet though, because once I get to the top floor, it's going to get fully plated, but I was just curious if that would work for me, and that's going to work. Trans neon parts. Oh, I'd love to do that. Charm City Bricks, a buddy of mine. I don't know. I know a lot of people on this channel are familiar with him because I had a building contest with him. It was a few years ago, 2 years ago, actually, I think, on Thanksgiving. But anyway, he did a building, not during that stream, mind you. That stream, it was a purple building that he did, and he still hasn't finished building that. But he did a building years ago, and it was all with Nexonite stuff. So when I say it was Nexonite, the building was blue in color, if I remember correctly. And then all the glass in it was like a trans neon orange from the Nexonite sets. Oh, it looked freaking amazing. So if that's what you're talking about, yes, at some point I plan on doing something similar to that. I think that would be freaking awesome. And then I still have that purple building because I've got all my parts, I think, for that now that I need to get back to on that, because I'm trying to, like I've told a lot of people, I'm trying to build out of my comfort zone a little bit. And when I say I'm trying to build out of my comfort zone, most of the stuff that I build, well, it's like my Avengers Tower here. I like to use a lot of earth tones. With that particular building, it was all grays and whites. And with a lot of my buildings, I typically stick with grays and whites, earth tones, as I call it. And that's why, like recently, the Neapolitan, which is what I've now dubbed that building, I wanted to do that building just because it had some really unique colors, and I think it really turned out amazing. So I'm wanting to experiment a lot more with a lot of different varieties of colors. I'm really enjoying making myself get away from what I would normally build and work with. Oh, that sounds awesome, Richard Cranium. He says recently there was a guy that did a Buzz Lightyear mock, and he said it's all trans neon, and it's so cool. That does sound cool. Because you put a like Michael was saying, if you put a black light on it, it would look amazing. Now that I have seen also, Michael, like you were saying with the aquarium builds, a lot of those do that, and they do. They look freaking awesome when they're done. I've seen quite a few of those, and because that's one thing that I thought was cool with a lot of those aquarium builds that I've seen, because you can really get creative with those. Because with anything with the sea, underwater, ocean, they have so many different things that they can do to make things look unique. So I definitely think those are cool. Okay, we're going to do one more row, and because I don't need this was just me figuring out sizing. So this can actually be ripped apart now for parts. So we're going to rob Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. And put some of this stuff together. That'll make that floor go quick. Oh, I agree, man. It's definitely a very cool effect. No doubt about it. I've actually been to Lego show before where they had, it was like a space build, for lack of a better term. But the entire build was under a black light. Oh, it looked so freaking cool. It really looked amazing. I almost forgot. And it was, I'm going to call it like black. It was like a Blacktron city, for lack of a better term. But they had everything built under a canopy. So as the train and stuff was running around, it was glowing in the dark. It just, it really popped. I can't say how cool it was, because I mean, it was just, it was freaking amazing looking. That'll go there. Put that there. I don't need this because I'm using black. Another bag down. Some more parts used. Gotta love it. Whoop. I'm almost thinking this is the height I'm going to stop at, because I don't want it to be too tall, as it shouldn't be a skyscraper. So I'm thinking this is where I'm going to stop the height. Oh, that sounds interesting. Michael was saying he's acquired a bunch of the missiles sticks, and he uses them like seagrass. Need these. I have to say I'm liking this. This is using up a bunch of parts, which is the best part. But yes, you are absolutely correct. That blue light gives that neon effect to Lego. That's what's funny, because like the lights behind me, sometimes I have to turn them off because it's making the Lego look so many different colors than what they actually are. For those that are not familiar, behind me is my part wall. And with my part wall, I have the neon lights that go around the perimeter of it. And it gets hard to figure out what I'm looking at color-wise sometimes when those LEDs are on. Okay. Let me just put these on top now. But I think this is where I'm going to stop for height, guys. Originally, I was thinking 8 floors, but I think I'm going to stop it right here. Get on here. At 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's a good height. So now I can work on the base. I just got to finish the roof. Locking that together. There we go. Ta-da. So that is going to be the top couple floors of the Carvana building. What I'm going to do is I got to look at the pictures that I have. And thank you so much, Rick Sargent. I appreciate that. But I'm going to make like a thin strip here where I'm going to put some up here where I'm going to put some LED lights. And then I'm going to have the Carvana signs. I'm going to have to print some out, but I want to put a Carvana sign there with some blue LEDs around the top. I think would look really cool. And then I'm just going to put maybe a few white LEDs throughout the inside of this to illuminate the cars. And then I got to build a ton of cars. So that's another reason I'm kind of stopping where I'm at, because the bigger I go, the more cars I have to build. So I think this is going to be where I'm going to stop with this particular building as far as the height. If I decide to go a little bigger, because I don't want it to be, because that's one of my things, is I don't want this to end up being bigger than like my apartment complex or any of that. So I don't want to get carried away with it. That's why I think I'm going to stop right here with this. Anyway, though, guys, I think, I really wish that, whoops, I hit the wrong button. That was me. What am I doing? How do I do it? There it is. I should have. There we go. That's what I was trying to do, is get it to where I could actually talk to you and look at the camera. Anyway, though, I am going to stop here. It's starting to get late. I know I've been on here for at least a good hour and a half or so. And I'm pretty happy with the progress that I made. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I know I wasn't as talkative as I usually am. I was just trying to get a bunch of stuff built, though, since I had some time. But anyway, though, I am going to, and thank you, Green, GRNHEL. He says, I love the car vending machine. But anyway, though, I am going to end the stream here, though, guys, and I can't run that beautiful bean footage because Restream does not allow me to do that. So on that note, I'm just going to say thank you for coming to Bevins Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below, and I hope to see you guys next time. I'm Bevins Bricks, and I hope you have a very blessed day. I will possibly try to stream tomorrow, but I'm not going to promise it. If not, it will probably be Monday the next time I stream. So, again, take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time.